Hey, guess what? I'm here. Like it or not, I made it. Woohoo! Got to get my gloves on. Hey, Apollo. Are you coming to say hi to everybody? Do you want me to ruin my camera angle so I can show you off? Here, hold up. Y'all see him? Look, buddy. Hi. Y'all just ignore all that dog hair on the floor. I didn't get time to sweep it up. He's so camera shy. Look at him. He's so camera shy. Every time I get my camera out to take a picture of him because he's cute, he starts doing this Stevie Wonder. He won't even and I've looked. I don't think there's any kind of light showing out of my camera, but I don't know. He's just weird about it. He's like, no, you're gonna steal my soul. Anyway, welcome to the show, y'all. Hey, how y'all doing? I'm OraCola. I'm coming to y'all live from Austin, Texas, here on the OraCola on October 9th, 2024. Oh my goodness, so much is going on. So much. And for all the folks in Florida who are currently being battered by the Hurricane Milton, prayers and love and good energy to y'all because it looked terrible. I was watching some storm chasers while I was getting ready for the show, and just to see what all what was going on, and it looked horrible. It looked horrible. So yeah, we had a lot of bad weather in the states lately, and we got wildfires out west we ain't even reporting on because the media is too consumed with the fake dog and pony show that is our election, which at this point, if a whole goddamn meteor came down and just knocked us all out, I would be fine with it because I'm sick to death of this bullshit. This oh, look how awful he is. Oh, look how awful she is. No, I've established this before. They're both terrible people. And I don't want either of them to be my president. But apparently, I have to endure this whole marathon of bullshit from the man because he's just pushing this is his show. This is his movie. It's like when you go to your friend's house and they're like, you got to see this movie. You got to see this movie. You're like, I don't know if I'd be into that movie, but you're being polite. You're there. You're the guest, and you got to sit there and watch this horrible fucking movie that they fucking love, and they keep looking at you like, see, or oh, it's so good. Oh, just so excited that, and then at the end of it, when they ask you what they thought or what you thought, and you're like, then you get a bunch of bullshit because you didn't like it. This is what the election is like, y'all. Let's not kid ourselves. We've all been through this shit. All been through. So, anyway, welcome to the show. You're hanging in there just like I am. We're all here together. It's lovely to see the family. Let's see. We got Patrick and Goog and Lava. Will, yes. Hey, good to see all of y'all. Good to see all of y'all. Get better, friends. You know what? Here's the thing. I allow a friend or two in my time when I have them because, they come and go. But when I have them in my presence and I'm actually interacting with them, I allow them to have a few flaws because if they're too perfect, I'm very suspicious. I'm very suspicious. And I feel like as far as flaws go, liking a movie that you don't like that much is pretty low on the list of red flags that you should run away from. I mean, maybe it could be the movie that is the deal breaker in a list of other shit that you've got building up. But I don't think it alone is worthy of a defriending. I'm just saying. I'm sure I like shit nobody else likes. I have taste in movie that was, eclectic. Hey, Prince, good to see you. All right, well, now we've got an audience streaming here. We got to get the show underway. So, first thing I do before we get to the oracle in, because what I do here, in case you don't know, now everybody watching here probably knows, but maybe not, because maybe not all of y'all are in the chat. By the way, let's switch over to the live chat if you ain't done that already, because sometimes people show up in the live chat that ain't in the top chat, which is what Google likes to default to because it likes to censor your chat. Imagine that. Anyway, we got our top chat switched to the live chat, and now we're going to move into the show. Now, what I do is channel the universe and read the oracles for you. What you do is put your question for the universe in all caps in the chat. That's all you got to do. Now, to get in the chat, you got to log into Google, which means if you're a looky-loo right now and you ain't actually in the chat, you got to get into your Google account or create one if you ain't, or if you forgot your password, it's real easy. They make it easy. They want your data. And so you got to log into the Google, and then you can get in the chat and then ask a question. Put it in all caps because I'm blind. I can't see shit. These are all glasses with an old prescription. I should not be wearing them, but they match. This is how vain I am. Anyway, put it in all caps in the chat, and I will hopefully see it, and I will spin the Wheel of Fortunes, the dusty Wheel of Fortunes, and we will get an oracle to interpret your question by. And the universe is fickle. Sometimes it wants you to think about shit. So I would say just don't have high expectations. You could have a profound experience, or it could be utter crap. You never fucking know. But regardless, we're all going to be here for about another 53 or 4 minutes. So let's get to it, y'all. Let's get to it. Start thinking of them questions while I do the ritual. I always do this ritual every time I do the show. Just some kind of ritual to set the space, let the universe know that we're here. We're excited to commune with them. We use they, them with the universe because we don't know their fucking gender. And then we're going to first start off by lighting the sacred wood. We're going to get the tip of this wood real hot, and it's going to start spewing out white smoke. Oh, yeah. It's going to perfume the air. I cooked some shrimp earlier, so this will help. And yeah, we're going to let the universe know that we're welcoming them into the house because we don't want them to be offended by the shrimp smell. And then we will ring the bell. This is the bell, a copper bell that will chase away the negative energy, the little niggling spirits and entities and attachments that want to cling on to our show and make it bad. No. We're just getting rid of them right now. And then also the universe gets to hear us. Smell us, hear us. Always good to have a couple different senses involved when you're trying to seduce something to come do your bidding. Okay. Next up, we got the pathogen wand. Hey, it's still in play because, they're still giving out all them vaccines for various things that you will still get even if you get the vaccine. But you know what? It's just the way it works, y'all. It's just the way it works. If you want to get that thing, go get it. Just know that you're probably going to get the thing too. And if you don't get the thing, but you get the thing, well, it's fine because the person that got the thing also got the thing. So you didn't do nothing wrong by not getting the thing. See how it works, y'all? It's all about how you vibrate. Vibrate higher, higher, higher. All right. We just use that little light to sanitize our space. And then we got our newest little thing. Sorry, I dropped it. And this is my beauty wand. This is for the red light therapy. The red light therapy is very, very popular. It's good for all kind of shit. Even men can do the red light therapy. And that's men of all kinds, even the kind that ain't actually men. Always, if you're a human, do the red light therapy. So says various advertisements on my YouTubes and other feeds. So we'll do this, and it's supposed to get rid of wrinkles or heal you. I don't know, some shit. And then Next up, we got our Prospera spray. This is for prosperity. Now, remember, you can always manifest your own kind of prosperity. Don't manifest the bad shit. What you think about, you create thought forms. It goes out in the universe. The universe is like, well, you want to be miserable? I'll send you shit to be miserable. That's how it works, y'all. So don't manifest the bad prosperity. We're going to let that nice hippie patchouli rain down on us. I do love the Prospera spray. I do. I love it. I will spray it on me sometimes just for fun. And then finally we got our Florida water. This is to anoint our chakras, make sure they're nice and clean and open and lubricated and ready all the way down to the root to invite the universe in and let the energy flow. Okay. Got that out of the way. And I got to check in with the chat here. Oh, it's 9/11, y'all. Say a prayer. I don't know. Whatever you do on 9/11. Let's see. So Will is a tarot. Okay, so Will, I don't know if you know how it works, but I explained it earlier. I'll explain it again. You just ask the question now, and then I will spin the wheel of fortunes, and the universe will decide how they want to answer the question for you. So I know you said tarot, but I'm just going to spin the wheel. Now, if the tarot comes up, that means the universe agreed with your decision. If not, well, we're just going to have to get the universe's opinion about it. So here we go. Where will I move next for Will? This is the first one that I see. So we're going to spin the wheel of fortunes. Concentrate, Will. Oh, the pornacle. Wow. So the universe is starting off on a spicy note this this day. If you ain't familiar, the pornacle is just a big old compendium of pornographic scenes from history, illustrations, not photographs, because most of this time period there was no photographic technology. However, this does require us to use a secondary situation here and get a random number generator from Google, which it may not be so random because it's fucking Google, but hopefully this is okay. So we got the random number generator, and there are 755 pages in the pornacle. So we're going to put in 755 and then generate a number. Page 354 in the pornacle for where you will move to. 354. 354. I'm going to take my glasses off for this because I don't have my bifocals on, so I can't see shit. 354. I will get some contacts at one point. I think maybe next week. I feel like I might be able to get it done next week, but I ain't putting no pressure on myself because I feel like ultimately, oh my God, we got this one recently. It looks like France. You need to go to France because it looks like it's in French. Or maybe you just need to find some kind of religious community to go to. Some place where maybe a commune or a cult or some kind of kibbutz or something. But yeah, maybe investigate French speaking countries and maybe countries that have a strong religious tradition that involves well, this is odd because this is like a monk and a nun or a priest and a nun. I don't know. Or is it just a nobleman? That's like a monk. Anyway, we've gotten this one before. The universe is very fond of showing us that our leaders that we think are true leaders are actually just depraved humans like the rest of us. And we've been getting a whole lot of dose of that in the media lately, which means the man is getting nervous that we're getting on to something even worse that he's up to. So he's throwing his low dogs under the bus. But the bigger dogs, the higher up dogs doing the way worse shit, They're still under the cloak, right? But this pornicle has so many scenes in it that are just like taken from like Marquis de Sade works and or other kind of like sexy, like pornographic novel engravings that they used to do back in the day, that just depict the nobility doing all kinds of depraved shit. And guess what? It ain't different now. They're still doing the same goddamn thing. So I would look back at some of the old porno that people put out there, because you can judge a society by the porn it looks at and the porn it likes. And back then, let me tell you, it wasn't as easy as just taking no picture with your phone and putting it up on the OnlyFans. No, 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 no. You had to carve that shit. Had to carve it. So you had to have some talent, first of all. To make porn in the olden days, you had to have some goddamn fucking talent, like serious talent. You had to be able to draw, or you had to be able to carve, or if you were doing prints, because you wanted to make multiples, right? So you had to be able to carve. So you're looking at a print, like a wood block print kind of thing. Because the thing with porn is you need lots of it. You got to sell it cheap, and you got to sell a whole lot of it. And yeah, so I feel like the talent of our pornographers has fallen way off, and we're getting slowly sick of just going straight to the pussy in this society, or straight to the dick, or straight to the butthole, or straight to the toe, whatever you're into. Like, there should be a little bit of effort to get to it. I've gone through this before, but also there should be a little bit more artistry put into showing it off. Y'all, more artistry. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I don't know what that means about your next move, but you figure it out. That's what the universe says. Think about that. Okay. Okay. Well. We got another question up here. Goog. Why is my textbook for this class so bad? Well, because it's a textbook. Hello. Let's see what the universe says. Oh, OraCola's choice. Ooh, why is it so bad? I feel like a rhetorical. I think a rhetorical is going to be a good one here. Because if the textbook sucks, you can at least find inspiration in a different literary source. I love it when it just like slaps. I love them cards slapping their little asses together like, oh yeah. I'm working these back up to being malleable after they got stiff. It's because I spill water on them, but it's all right. They're coming back down. Just takes a minute. Got to work them hard before they soften up. That resonates. Feeling it. Well, good, Will. I hope that's helpful for you. Okay. Next up. Oh, hey, Skeeter. Good to see you. I'll get to your question in a minute. Get that laser eye fixing. No, I ain't getting none of that shit done. No, I don't trust it. And I know enough people that still have to wear the glasses and the contacts after getting that. Why would I go through all that shit? Why? If I'm still going to have to do it, the thing that I don't want to do. No, I'm sorry. I'm just like fine with being as blind as I am, because when I take off my glasses, the world's real blurry and it don't piss me off as much. Advantages. Okay. So why is that textbook so bad? Oh, Patrick had another one. We'll get to that one too. I don't need that wand. You got them there medicine bottles. This is right. I'm wearing my protection. I got my boosters and my originals right here. I got them. They're on me. You can't get near me with any of that shit because I am protected. The modern day crucifix right here, y'all. In the flesh, in 3D. Not imaginary, in your fucking face. All right. Here we go. Textbook question. Back to the task. Oh, we got, Robin Hood. Yeah, well, here it's obvious. It sucks because, first of all, it's not meant to be any good. It's just a scam, y'all. It's just a fucking scam. It ain't the real thing. What you've been told about it was not true. And it's just a fantasy. And yeah, it just, here's the thing. The textbook, I feel like, is a supplement. It's not a mandatory thing. And if you bought it and it sucks, sell it back before the value drops. We're still at the beginning kind of the year, maybe. I don't know. What I remember there being fluctuations with books. I used to work at the bookstore at UT as a temp. And we'd buy back shit and people would say, "Oh my God, I spent X amount for it." And I'm like, "Sorry, that's all they're asking for it now." It's a total racket. But yeah, you might just sell it back. Surely nothing in there is worth seeing anyway. Okay. Let's see. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 get disappeared by a UFO. Well, there's UAPs now. Remember, we're in the Orwellian times, so all the terms to things changes. So they're UAPs. Don't misgender them. But yeah, I don't know. This one is something that I have had in the back of my mind to dig into because I know there's new theories since it happened, but I just don't have time to get into this one. But let's see what the universe says. Oh, you need therapy. Oh my goodness. Well, this is the man telling you to just like take a seat and just think about it because maybe they just don't want to get into it with you right now. And you should be like focused on some other shit. Let's see. This ball is so unlike Karen, who's very like sluggish and doesn't want to give an answer. This one wants to give so many answers, it can't ever get one spit out. This is how it works. It's always giving me a corner. Okay, here we go. It says, let's channel that anger. If I move it, I think it's going to switch. But Freud said, let's channel that anger. So obviously you have some issues with this whole thing. You need to understand what your trauma from your past or your past life is telling you to do about this situation. Like it's definitely rooted in something that happened to you. So you either need this to be like disappeared by a UFO, or you're just like so hooked into the UFO narrative that you need some kind of proof it exists, or you're secretly terrified of UFOs. There's a lot of ways you can go with it, but obviously you're mad about it in some way. Like the man has not come up with any kind of plausible explanation that has satisfied you, and it's bothering you. I get it. I fucking get it. There's things that you get bothered by weirdly. This is something I'm kind of bothered by weirdly recently, and I don't know if y'all have experienced this commercial, but it's a commercial I've seen on the YouTubes, and it's a Volkswagen commercial, and it's for some like minivan kind of situation, and apparently it's advertising this way because it has 17 cup holders in it. Now, why would a van that you cannot fit 17 people in have 17 fucking cup holders? What kind of selling point is that? I do not understand it. Aside from that, it's a weird commercial. It's like a little girl, like 8 years old, like running around her house, getting all her sippy cups in like reusable cups. And then like get them out from like under the bed and shit, like nasty places. These ain't clean. They ain't clean. And then she's taking them to the fucking bathtub and putting them in there, opening the lids, and then putting the shower on to fill them up. That shit ain't clean, y'all. That's gross. And then they show her, like, I guess putting the cups in the cup holders. That's the whole point of the goddamn thing. And then they take her to the park or wherever, and she's sitting in the back like a Buddha with the hatchback opens up, and she's like got all these like different water cups in front of her, and this like soccer team comes up, little girl soccer team comes up, and they're like, oh, I guess she's giving them the water. First of all, that would never fucking happen. Every single one of them girls has got their own goddamn water. I know they do. So what is she handing out? What kind of drugs is she dealing out of these water cups? And then she does a weird thing. She does a weird fucking thing that I'm not understanding. She takes one of them that looks like it has an orange stuck in it, or maybe it's an orange graphic. I don't know. I didn't examine it that closely. And then she hands it to one particular girl and is like, this one's for you. And the girl's like kind of weirded out about it. She has like a look on her face for a second. What is that implying? What is that? What is that? What is going on with that shit? Oh, yeah, she's wearing like a rainbow bandana on her head too. Like some kind of rainbow like sweatband. I don't get it. I don't get this commercial. But the thing that really bugs me is, why would you want to advertise 17 cup holders? You cannot fit 17 fucking people in the goddamn car. It's a stupid thing. It's stupid. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, shit gets under my skin too. I feel you. Okay. I did have a question up here that I missed. Textbook, flight, prayer for hurricane. Yes, we will pray for y'all. We are praying for y'all 100%. 100%. Okay, back to Skeeter. Should I go to ACL Festival again next year? I don't know. Let's see what the universe says. Ooh, Book of Revelation. Could be apocalyptic. Let's find out. Well, this one requires me to do 2 numbers. So the first one will be between 1 and 22, because that's how many chapters are in the Book of Revelation. Chapter 6. Okay. We will find out how many verses are in chapter 6. Oh, this new Bible is so hefty. I love it. The pages are still thin, though. Got a beef with that. But the heftiness is good. So we got chapter 6 has 17 verses. We will put in 17. I am 16, going on 17. Show me what you want. Okay, 16. There we go. Perfect. Book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 16. Oh, we're already there. Look, it was meant to be. All right. Verse 16 is the penultimate. That's a $5 word, y'all. In case you don't know, look it up. Penultimate verse in chapter 6. So verse 16 says, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. So this is a follow-up to the first verse above it, which is about the kings of the earth. So like the elites that are evil. And then here's the thing about ACL. There's a lot of fucking evil people going to do that shit because guess what? They're celebrities. So it depends on how you feel with how you sit with evil. Like I would just wait, honestly, until the next roster of artists comes out because they might be doing some house cleaning right now. They might be going behind the scenes and, hushing some people up and like backburning them, just trying to like build up a more wholesome scene because they don't want their fucking music festival to flop, right? And if too many of the artists that are involved with the one that they're planning come out to be at the P. Diddy parties, well, guess what? It ain't a good look. So I think they're going to be kind of like hemming and hawing and waiting. So I would wait. I'd wait and see what drops. And if you ain't feeling the people that's on the roster, If you don't have a good feeling about it, no, don't fucking go. You read that as a rock star. Well, sure, why not? There were rocks involved, but not all rocks are good. A lot of rocks will kill you. Just ask a bunch of people who are dead now in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. Let's see. All right, scrolling back up just to check on the chat. It's 9:31, y'all. I do not have a lotto ticket. I have struck out trying to find me $1 ticket, scratch off. And usually at the Asian store, I can get one out of the machine. But this past couple of times I've gone, no dollar tickets. And I'm determined to use this dollar because it was the dollar I won from the last scratch off that I won from. Not the last one I scratched, but the last one I won from. This is the dollar. So I have to plow it into the next lotto ticket. And I obviously can't plow it into something that's more than a fucking dollar. So I just got to go find me some convenience store on the east side, I guess. I don't know. Somewhere where there's poor people. All these motherfuckers in my neighborhood are apparently too rich for dollar tickets. Textbooks are money laundering scams for black ops running universities. I believe it. I totally believe it. I saw some things when I was working there, and it was a temp job. I can't imagine if you actually worked there. Could have seen a whole lot of shit. La 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 la. Yeah, no early bird this time. Don't do what are you saving? You might save a little bit, but honestly, if you got a roster of pedos up there, you don't want to be seen at that festival. That's like a stain on you. And they could be doing some demonic ritual while you were there and you wouldn't even know it. Remember what happened at the Astroworld Festival? People got fucking sacrificed to the demons. It happened, y'all. It happened. We all watched it. So, just wait. Okay. 9:33. Did we get any other questions? I don't think I got any others. Fuck yous in the house. I love it. Hey. All right. Well, it's 9:33. I feel like I've been spilling tea this whole goddamn show, but shall we have some tea, y'all? Shall we have some tea? It rhymes with 33. We should. And while y'all are at it, like and subscribe and leave a comment, all that crap. Ooh, my teapot's got real dusty since I let it go fallow for a bit. It's kind of opaque. Ooh, what we got here? FEMA. Oh, speaking of the hurricane, we got the FEMA in the house. In other words, fuck every miserable American, the FEMA. Yeah, so FEMA's been showing its ass for the last couple of weeks and in time for the election, right? But keep in mind, this whole FEMA thing is a very detached situation from whatever's running the country or pretending to run the country. It seems to be its own entity. And I still have not figured out why, after so many fucking failures and so many fucking bad PR disasters that FEMA has come under fire for, literally every goddamn thing that happens as a disaster, they are a disaster at fixing or helping, or they just make it worse. So I just feel like FEMA is a huge money laundering operation for the black ops. It has to be. There's no way that this organization, this federally funded thing, this branch of the government, is so awful. I mean, the post office works, y'all. It's not perfect, but it fucking works. The utility companies, they work. Lots about our government actually works. I know a lot of black pill people out there don't want to believe it, but it's true. If it didn't, we wouldn't be living here doing this live stream right now. If it didn't all work, it would just come down. Now, it's a house of cards, but it's working in some places, right? You don't have to, you can actually drink the water in most places except for some places. I'm so sorry. But yeah, you can actually drink the water in most of the countries. You can actually like flush the toilet paper. Like we have advantages. So some of the system works. Some of it works. But yeah, FEMA does not work and it has never worked. And it has always been a major fuck up and a huge, huge embarrassment. And it seems like it always go down the memory hole. Like it goes down the memory hole every time there's a disaster. And it's widely publicized that FEMA fucked it up. And it was the regular citizens who actually did the bulk of the actual like rescuing and supporting and shit. And FEMA just got in the way, or even worse, like tried to make them not be able to do that thing. And I know some people think that's a conspiracy, but whatever. I believe the people on the ground over the fucking mainstream media. Hell yeah. And if you notice, they've been putting out a whole lot of like hurricane misinformation, like articles on the mainstream media recently. And I'm just like, please, when you're over the target, you get the flack. So yeah, it's just crazy. It's crazy. FEMA sucks. And we should get rid of that fucking whole thing. We should get rid of it. There's no need for a federally like organized disaster thing. It's just a bureaucracy. It's a way to launder money for the black projects. It actually don't do nobody no good. I've been seeing like ads on my fucking like Instagram advertising for FEMA jobs, temp FEMA jobs, right? Because they're all temporary, because they're all disaster related. But for like starting at $20 an hour, I'm like, shit, I would not work for the devil for $20 an hour. I can suck a dick behind a dumpster for at least 50, and that will only take me 10, maybe 15 minutes. Depends on if he had the Viagra. And so, yeah, it's a bad deal. It's a bad fucking deal. I just feel like FEMA needs to go away. And I know that whatever we elect or whatever gets elected for us is not going to get rid of it because it's too valuable. And maybe it ties into them UAPs, UFOs, whatever that we was talking about earlier. But I don't know. I see the stories coming out and it's just like deja vu, deja vu, deja vu all over again. Katrina, all the other like disasters. FEMA never helps. FEMA's in my way. The only thing I ever got from FEMA was some water. I got me a case of water from FEMA. Apparently it was FEMA, but I don't know for sure. And that was during the snowpocalypse. And later in the snowpocalypse, not even like the actual middle of it, because there was no fucking FEMA in the middle of the goddamn thing. They only showed up after with a parking lot with some cases of water. And it was not the good water, by the way. It was not spring water. It was purified water. So it was the bottom of the barrel. And when them bottles that were so thin, like you could like punch a hole with it with your fingernail. That's how thin them plastic bottles was. I guess, what was the brand? Niagara? Some bullshit like that? It was just a all you could get. But god damn it, I went and got it because I needed it. Woo. Oh yeah. Fuck yeah, Cajun Navy. Exactly. Citizens have always come together during disasters. And this is how I know that people are mostly good. If it was complete anarchy, like the man wants us to believe, then anytime there was a fucking disaster, it would be way worse. But actually, in reality, most people are kind and love other people. They don't want to hurt other people. Even if they're curmudgeonly and they're like sour, they still don't want their neighbor to suffer, you know? And even if they got beef with their neighbor, it's a bad situation, it's life and death. People come together. And there's a few sociopaths out there. Sure, there's weirdos that loot. Sure, always going to be a thing. But for the most part, I think it's usually that the humanity in people comes out. And that's the man. The man hates it. The man hates the humanity because he hates himself. Humanity, see that man part in there? The man hates himself so much he wants us to hate us. But we don't hate each other, and that's what bothers him. What fucking bothers him. That's why he's got to spray the air with chemtrails and modify the weather and all that other crap he's got to do. He's just so angry with himself. Okay. FEMA wasn't designed to help people in need. It was designed to herd the cattle after the well, they ain't even doing a good job at that shit. Seriously. If that's their only job, they ain't even doing that. My money's still on the money laundering. Always follow the money laundering. That's where it all starts and ends. All right. Well, we have done a little tea, and I still got about 20 more minutes left in the show. So we got time for more questions. Who has a question for the universe? I know there's a lot going on in the world. There's things that might be bothering you. There might be questions you have that you're afraid to ask your friends or bring up with your family because they might look at you sideways. Bring them to the OraCola. I can handle it, y'all. I've looked into everything. I have literally looked into everything, and nothing shocks me and nothing offends me. And even if you're a adrenochrome drinking lizard and you got a question, you can put it in the chat. You're part of the universe too, right? I may not like you, you're like soul or whatever, but you're here for a reason. So put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Good or evil, I'm here for it all. Patrick, were the recent hurricanes generated by directed energy? Ooh, this is a juicy conspiracy that's been going on. I don't know, honestly. I don't know what I believe about anything anymore because I'm seriously overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. This is the kind of thing where you're like, okay, Katrina happened. It was a big deal. It was horrible. But now we've had like basically 2 Katrinas maybe in a row, like within a week of each other. It just seems like it's so much. Why it's so much. We're all just like overextended. We're all just on edge. We haven't had a chance to come down from the last thing. It's like when you're on a bender and you just keep going on the bender instead of taking some time off. Eventually it catches up with you in the worst way. So yeah, I don't know. But the rumor is it has something to do with HARP. I don't know. Let's see what the oracle says. At the very least, we can at least read this book. It might bring some comfort or entertainment or distraction. What we got here? We have Dracula. Well, it's appropriate for Halloween. There are definitely vampires out there in the world, and we did have the 2 hurricanes. And yeah, things that are ugly and evil that want to suck the misery and feed off of the negative emotions and the pain of folks. Those are vampires. They don't actually have to suck blood, physical blood. They can suck all kind of shit out of you. And this is true for all kind of people in your life, by the way. But as far as this particular vampire, I think it might be sucking the natural resources and the land away from the people who can't afford to rebuild. I think that's what this Dracula is all about. Whether or not there was some modification to the clouds that caused them to go in one direction or the other, or be more intense or more wet or whatever. I do believe that regardless of that, the actual vampirism is going to come in and transform the landscape in ways that Mother Nature would never transform. Like they're going to bring in the bulldozers and the heavy machinery, and they're going to dig on down. It's going to be like pit mines and strip mines and all kind of mines all over the place. It's what I think. So yeah. Eh, eh, eh. Are the turbines making the earth more windy? Oh, that's interesting. You're talking about the wind turbines? I don't know. I feel like such a small man-made thing probably doesn't affect the earth that much, but we'll see what the universe says. You need therapy. Dr. Freud is happy with his little exposure here, so we're going to get some more therapy going. So instead of thinking about that, if is the wind getting windier because of the wind turbines, here's what you should really think about. It says the same thing. Let's channel that anger. I don't know if it's going to show up. Nope, it went away. But yeah, it said let's channel that anger. So yeah, if you're pissed about this, maybe look into why. Did you grow up where there was a bunch of wind turbines and they was like blocking your horizontal sunset views? Or was it like causing a lot of birds to die and you're upset about it deep down, but you try to push it down because, other shit to worry about? I don't know. I don't know. I think the thing with the wind turbines is that they probably actually don't generate that much energy. This is my suspicion. I suspect that the wind turbines are not generating enough energy to justify their existence, but there's enough contractors that have contracts with various governments to build these things on junk science that they are still going to complete this project many years into the future, even though they know it ain't actually something that works. That's my suspicion. It's also a fucking eyesore. They're ugly. They're horrible. I don't like them. I just like, what? No. I would rather have one or two nuclear plants and not like a field of acres and acres of them ugly things. Surely we can do better. Surely we can do better. I heard a rumor on the Twixer that the 0 point energy is just like so close to being released. But you know what? The man will never allow that shit. He's got contracts with friends for decades in the future to make these weird parts for these ugly turbines that don't actually do that much. That's my guess. It's all a scam. Everything's a fucking scam. Everything's a fucking scam. Everything's a fucking scam. Everything's a fucking scam. All scam, 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 scam. Mm-hmm. Okay. Enough of that. Oh, my goodness. Uh, Cola, have you watched Universal Basic Guys show about universal basic income? When will we move to Fed Now blockchain? I don't know. I have not followed any of this cryptocurrency shit, but I'll spin the wheel and see what the universe says. Even if I don't know how to interpret it, maybe you can. I know there's some people who are way into the crypto and all about like trying to figure out rhetorical again. My goodness. So many literary things. Y'all have some reading to do this week. Let me tell you, we got to read Robin Hood. We got to read Dracula, and let's see what else we got to read. But yeah, as far as the crypto, I just don't have a brain for that kind of stuff. I've never been interested in the stock market. I've always thought that's fake shit. Just like I've always thought algebra was fake shit and calculus was fake shit and all the trigonometry was fake. All that shit is fake. The only thing that makes sense to me is 1 + 1 = 2. That's it. If I can't visualize it in that way, my brain shuts down, which tells me it's not worth it for me to know. So, yeah, I get it. I might not like be on the crypto billionaire list because I didn't jump in on whatever, but I just don't have the time for that shit. And it's all digital. That's the other thing. It's fucking digital. Like, I'm suspicious of stuff that ain't concrete in the real world, in my view, in my field of vision that I can't see, touch, taste, smell, whatever. I'm suspicious of that shit. And I know that the fiat we got is just a representation, but I can at least hold it in my hand. When I go to the goddamn laundromat and I put my $5 bill in, god damn it, I get some weighty coins out. And that's real. Okay. Here we go. Our next reading assignment for the week coming up is the tortoise and the hare. So it's a fable. I feel like these are actually probably pretty prophetic little selections that the universe has given us. I don't know the way it's going to plan out like for all of y'all, but I do think that these are stories that are, they're universal stories. Obviously, they apply. But in these times when there's so much going on, I feel like y'all can find kernels of wisdom in each of them stories I've pulled up. So get to reading, y'all. And don't be lazy and do the audiobook. It's not the same. It's not the same. Okay. Nuclear power doesn't require ruining the views. Well, yeah, here's the deal. I'm suspicious about that too because they've been running a hell of a nuclear power campaign. This is another YouTube video thing I want to talk about. Why are they suddenly pushing nuclear power so hard? Like really pushing it like it's a thing. And even where I work, we come across some work that was pushing some nuclear power shit. So I'm just kind of like, I guess they think everyone's forgotten about Fukushima and 3 Mile Island and all them times that Chernobyl, all the times it went south and it was horrible and it was bad. Yeah, they're pushing it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Are they trying to make us feel good about nuclear bombs, nuclear weapons? Is that what they're trying to make us feel good about nuclear for? Like, oh, nuclear is not a bad thing. Nuclear is like energy. It's happy. It's safe. It's safer than working in a grocery store. And I got to give props to the actress in that particular video, that particular commercial, because when that woman was weird and leaned over and was like, working at a nuclear plant is safer than working in a grocery store. The woman who was playing the cashier gave the appropriate look like, you fucking weirdo. And she didn't say shit. She didn't say shit. That's what I would do. I'd be like, that'll be $59.95 or whatever it cost. It wouldn't be that cheap these days. But anyway, y'all know what I mean. And then the dude next to her talks about it. Nobody does that shit. No, that never happens. The only thing that happens in the line at the grocery store is, why the fuck is this asshole paying with a check? They need to get with the times. Yeah. James T, thank you. Good to see you. Welcome to the show. It's only a few more minutes long, but you got time to get a question in. Put it in all caps in the chat if you want me to spin the wheel of fortunes and let the universe interpret a question for you. Canadians build the safest reactors on the planet. Oh, do y'all? I had no idea. I had no clue. I don't even know where my energy comes from. This is sad to say. I know I pay the city of Austin utility company for the electricity they say I use, which I don't actually ever check to see if it's correct. I don't know where my meter is. I live in a complex. I don't know where my meter is. I've never actually looked to see if the meter reads are correct. This is how blind I am to the system. And I'm aware of a lot of shit, but this is one of them things where they get you. I bet they probably jack everybody's meter reading up just like $2 or $3 every time they read it. And they just have it as standard across the board. Do you know how much extra money for the black budget that fucking generates? A fucking lot. And I bet it goes on all over the country. There's so many little things that we never actually verify. I don't know what the water meter says. I don't know it said that I had this much water. I don't know. I just assume they're telling me it's right. And the only time I think it's wrong is when it's way above what it should be. Like if it follows the ebb and flow of the seasons and it's more or less okay, but it costs a lot more because, well, they raise it all the time. Well, this is what I assume. And this is how everybody lives, right? Everybody does this. This is how the man gets you. It's how the man fucking gets you. Sucks. Uh, yeah, we got gas, but I used to have gas when I lived in my house, my cooking good house. It was nice because I could modulate my cooking. Now I got this fucking stupid electric stove that's got them little coils like that old fashioned poor person shit. And it's okay. I've figured it out. Like, I can still make myself a bomb ass steak with it, but I've had to learn. And I don't cook nearly as much as I used to because I fucking hate that electric stove. I hate it so much. It really pisses me off. Every time I walk in my kitchen, I'm pissed off. And that's why I don't spend very much time in there anymore. I know I could like go back to making cooking videos, which is how a lot of y'all knew me from the beginning, but I just can't do it in this space. This space sucks for doing that whole thing. And that I guess that means until I find a place where I can cook and actually cook and make it work and make it good the way I like it, and it don't have to like depend on the stupid electric stove that I fucking hate, maybe I'll do it again. But yeah, no more cooking for me. Sorry. I barely cook for myself anymore. It's how bad it's gotten. Uh, you can get an induction burner. Yeah, but yeah, it's the same crap. No, no, no. I want fucking fire under my stuff. I want a fire I can turn up and a fire I can turn down and a fire that's like all glowy and jiggly and like that. The fire is so important. I think we're missing something when we get away from the way we actually learn to make food as people, as humans, as humanity for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. We only had the fire, right? We only had that. We had to get intimate with the elements of wood and air and all this stuff to like figure out how to keep this going so that we could cook and create this special potion that was nutritious, that would feed us. And now we've got these electric things and these plug-in things, and they just totally bypass that whole connection with the earth. Because when you're burning wood and coal and all that, you're burning the earth, right? So I don't know. I feel like I'm missing out on the flame. I miss the flame, y'all. I miss it. Uh, you got a gas stove. Uh, we'll let you use it to film content in return for the food. You're sweet. You're sweet. Well, I mean, honestly, I ain't that Jonesing to do it. I'm just letting y'all know. The reason why I don't do no cooking videos no more is because I've been living in this apartment with this shit ass stove and I fucking hate it. It sucks. Ugh. All right. It is 9:59, y'all. Oh my goodness. It's almost the end of the show. Uh, let's see. I think I got all the questions. Y'all let me know if I missed any, but I'm pretty sure I got them all. Yep. Okay. Well, y'all, it's been wonderful. I'm going to do a little quick reading for the collective with the tarot because we're living in the crazy, wild, cuckoo times, and a lot of folks are suffering all over the world, but especially in our own country. And we're bound to have some more crap go down because it is the election season and there's always shenanigans, always. Who knows what will happen, but here's the tarot card to consider for the next week while we navigate these weird times. And oh, you're welcome, James. Thank you for hanging out. Appreciate you. I got hours and hours of content. Just rewatch all the old shows. If you're bored at work, put one on. Put it in your earbud. Listen. It'll be fun, I promise. All right. Here's a tarot for the rest of the week until our next show, which will be next week. All right. Death. Oh my goodness, y'all. Well, it's appropriate because October 13th is coming up here on Sunday, I believe. But don't be afraid of the death card. The death card is not the end of the world. The death card is the beginning of the next world. This is where we ground down to the ultimate essence of what we are. Get rid of all the things that are superfluous and just like aren't real. And just get down to the essence. And then we use that knowledge of what did not work before to create a new way of growing in the future and sprouting up and becoming something different and something better and something more in tune with who we actually are. There's a lot of ways you can experience death. You can actually experience a death of a loved one, a death of a pet, a death of a job, a death of so many things. Or you can have like an inner death, like a little, like, I just don't need to do this no more. I quit sugar. I quit alcohol. I quit this thing that I know is doing me wrong. This person, this whatever. Death is a chance to reflect and a chance to be reborn and a chance to achieve something new and different. So, yeah, this is the time of dying. This is the time of the year when things start to go into themselves. And that's okay if you do it too. In fact, it's encouraged. Now is the time to do it. Don't be afraid of death. Death is just another way to start new. That's all. That's all it is. So, with that, I will leave y'all. I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your week. No matter what happens, no matter where you are, no matter if the aliens finally show up and it ain't Project Bluebeam, it's actually fucking aliens, we will gather here next week and talk about it. So I'll see y'all next time. I love y'all so much. Tell all your friends, like, subscribe, all that shit. You know how it goes. And leave a comment in the actual comments, not in the chat, in the actual comments. That helps too. All right. I love y'all. I'll see y'all next time.